This is Gary Atensi with CNTV, and today we're in Parker, Colorado. We're at Fox Airsoft. Since 2006, they have been providing complete tactical solutions within the airsoft industry. I'm here with the managing member as well as website general manager. Let me ask you guys, first of all, this kind of seems like a cool place to wake up every morning, come to work. What got you involved in this type of industry?
Well, we started off as an airsoft team back in the late 90s. And, there's a passion of ours, and we decided that we wanted to start an airsoft business. So
excellent. So this is something you guys got into yourselves personally and then decided to go professional with it?
That's right, yeah. So we did it personally for about 7 years or so before we transitioned over to a business. And like Jared said, we were very active as a team and continue to be so.
Excellent. Let's start off, first of all, let's clarify for the viewers out there, those that don't know what airsoft is. We're talking about a sport that started in later 70s, back in Japan, made its way to the States here. A true sport where you're basically trying to eliminate your opponent by hitting them. Is that right? Walk us through that.
Oh, that's right. Airsoft can be used for many different things, from a competitive, force-on-force sport. And also, we've got lots of law enforcement agencies starting to use airsoft for force-on-force training. So it's got multiple applications, from a recreational sport to more serious, what you'd call mil-sim, operations, all the way up to, professional training.
Excellent. And obviously, we're talking about guns here. How are some of these guns powered? What are we talking about here? Electric or what?
You have three primary methods of operation. So it's going to be spring powered, where you basically are cocking a piston inside like a shotgun or a bolt action rifle. Then you also have gas powered. That's going to be like your typical CO2, or we use what's called green gas that's contained in the magazine to propel the BB. And then the last and most popular method is an electric driven motor. So basically there's a mechanical gearbox that's going to drive it to produce semi-automatic or fully automatic fire.
So these are guns that basically are replicating true firearms.
Yeah, exactly right. There's all kinds of different variants of airsoft guns. Most of them are based off of a real firearm. A lot of military firearms are produced, so they're one-in-one scale replicas of real firearms that have, of course, orange tips to show that they are, in fact, an airsoft gun.
Excellent. So basically, walk me through the gameplay here. Are we talking about, does the gameplay kind of vary based on the field that you're at, or actually who originates and puts the game together?
Yeah, it definitely does. There's, all kinds of different fields across the country and across the world, and everyone in airsoft likes a little bit different flavor of the game. So you'll see guys that are that just want to play a casual recreational game, and then you'll see the other end of the spectrum where guys are very serious about it. They go, in full military kit, and they play military simulation airsoft.
Excellent. Obviously, safety is a big factor, I imagine, when you're out in the field. Share with us some of the gear that they're going to be wearing out there.
First and most important piece of gear is going to be your eye protection. So it does need to be impact rated, full seal, and a retention strap based eye protection. So that's obviously important, because if you were to take a BB directly to the eye, that would injure you. Now, you also want to look at having some sort of face protection to cover your teeth and just some of the softer tissue around your face. So that's a primary protective gear, and then other individual users will choose to use things like knee pads, elbow pads, and other things like that.
So basically, on what you're telling me here, it sounds like you are going to get hit with some pellets out there. I mean, obviously, viewers want to know, do these pellets hurt? Are we measuring the pain or the sting in kinetic energy? How does that work?
Yeah, well, the average airsoft gun shoots about 350 to 400 feet per second with a 0.2 gram BB. And so it's going to give you a sting. It's going to definitely wake you up. A lot of players are using plate carriers or equipment to hold their magazines and extra stuff. So you can if you get hit on that, you can tell you're hit, but a lot of times it doesn't hurt. But if you take a hit on bare skin, you can definitely feel that.
Absolutely, which increases the intensity of the game, I imagine, and makes it something fun at the same time. Obviously, you guys are known for putting together quite an extensive gun wall. The goal is to make sure that these folks are out there in the field and they've got everything they need. What are they going to find here on the gun wall primarily?
Well, here at Fox Airsoft, we carry a wide range of brands, and we've really handpicked. We've been playing airsoft for a long time, and we've tried a lot of different airsoft guns over the years, and so we've handpicked for our customers what we know is going to work for them and be the best value for them. So you'll find a full range of guns, tactical gear, parts, accessories, upgrade parts, you name it, we provide it.
Speaking of upgrade parts, we're talking about folks who are able to come in, modify their guns, tech them up a little bit.
Yeah, we actually just launched a brand new line of internal upgrade parts called Fox Custom, and we just want to provide a complete solution for the customer to go in there, and you can do anything from install a more accurate barrel, increase the FPS, get a higher rate of fire. Whatever you want to do, airsoft is the perfect sport for the tinkerer. You can do anything and everything to these guns internally and externally, so it's awesome from that standpoint.
Customization, aesthetics, it's got to be a lot of fun for guys putting together. Obviously, the equipment is important, but also your team, as far as your experience goes. Share with me a little bit of some of the fields you guys have been able to play on yourself.
Yeah, so as a team, we've been, actually Jared and I have been all around the world. So last year we actually went to Taiwan and did an international operation. And then just within the United States, there's a lot of places we've been fortunate enough to play on. Military bases like Fort Knox, Fort Hood, Texas, Fort Walters, some places out in California, base housing. Yeah, just phenomenal places. And actually a lot of the places we have played are places where the military actually trains, even some of the special forces units.
Excellent. Does Colorado have a pretty good selection of fields?
You know, right now in Colorado, yeah, I want to say there's about 5 or 6 active fields. We run one of them right now, and then there's some other ones around the area, and they go down from Colorado Springs all the way up north towards Fort Collins.
Excellent. You guys basically have the guns, you've got the ammo. If people do like you say, teching up their gun, do you also have a range where they can test that gun?
Oh, we do have a range here in the shop where we, customers will come in, they'll test the FPS through our chronograph to see how hard their gun's shooting, because a lot of fields around here have a field limit, so they want to see that, and where our technicians can test fire guns after they've repaired or upgraded them.
Excellent. You had mentioned that you run one of the fields here. Are we able to find events throughout the year? And are we talking about local games as well as full national runs?
Yeah, we do have a lot of local games, and there are actually a few national type games that come in Colorado, and those vary depending on the year and location.
Excellent. Obviously, folks, if you want to keep apprised of some of the events they've got going on throughout the year, check out their website. That's Fox Airsoft, located here in Parker, Colorado. You can see their website right on the bottom of the screen there. You're going to take a look at a lot of resources they have, links, blogs. Basically, it's a family of guys that enjoy a sport that's pretty high intense. And let me ask you, is this something that is what age group are we talking about here?
Well, that's something that's actually really interesting about airsoft. You will see a wide player base, ranging in ages from the real young guys getting into it at 8 to 10 years old, and then we also have on the opposite end of the spectrum, gentlemen in their 60s that are retired military that go out there and play consistently, sometimes with their kids, and everything in between. So it's a really broad player base. It's excellent.
Absolutely, and like I say, you guys have a great selection of equipment, the parts, the upgrades, everything right here. I know you guys also offer what they call a gear swap. Share with me what goes on at something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. So every month we do a variety of different events for our local customers, one of them being the gear swap, where local guys can come, they can put all their gear out, any guns or any equipment that they're trying to buy, sell, or trade, we offer that as a service.
Excellent. Last thing, why don't you share with us what the Fox Platoon is and what is that for Colorado?
Yeah, so Fox Platoon is basically a unit that we started here with the shop, basically to train some of the younger players on how to be a more active national player. We take the experience that we've had as a team for about the last 14 years, and we just put it together into a 4-week training program. It takes guys from zero to hero basically in that 4 weeks. And so by the end of that time, you're part of a unit. You're building some good camaraderie, some just great relationships. And with that unit, we go around the country to some of these sites and military bases and get to play our airsoft wars.
So they're absolutely tapping into your guys' experience of going out there and doing that as well. Obviously, some viewers out there maybe have never walked into a shop like this. Quite honestly, didn't even know it existed. How do they get started? What's the first step?
Well, the first step is just come down and see us. Take a look at the guns. Take a look at the sport. It's a fantastic sport. Some of the great things about airsoft that I enjoy is the camaraderie and the great exercise that it is. It's really a sport like no other. So to get started, come down, check it out, see what it's all about. Hop on the internet, foxairsoft.com, and take a look and check
Excellent.
it out.
Get started. Obviously, this is a sport that you guys have a lot of fun with out there, but I also see that you guys take it pretty serious as well. We're talking about investment of time and basically making sure it's a hobby that keeps alive in Colorado.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Yeah, we do put a lot into it. We just we have a passion about it and love getting to get out there and play. I think it's a great way to help bring up that younger generation as well too. Like Jared mentioned, the camaraderie. Something we also do like within our organization is we take it upon ourselves to mentor those younger guys, give them a positive way to use that energy that they have when they're growing up.
Excellent. Last time viewers, take a look at the bottom of the screen right there. You're going to see their website. Their contact information is right there. Make sure and like them. They're on Facebook. They've got over 4,000 people that are basically keeping apprised of any events they've got going out there. They're going to let you know of any new equipment they've got here on the shelves. They've got pretty much everything you need. It's a turnkey operation. You can walk in and these guys are going to suit you up. Make sure you're out there in the field, properly protected. At the same time, having a great time with a piece of equipment that has got to be a lot of fun strapping over your shoulder.
Yeah, absolutely. And we appreciate it.
Excellent. This is Gary Atencio with CNTV. And if you don't know, now you know.
The emotional toll that financial stress can bring is why we offer debt relief services. Attorney Kevin Heupel has served over 5,000 clients. His qualified staff in each location understands how liberating it is to have your debt eliminated and your credit restored. We give you the personal attention you deserve, like we have for thousands of satisfied clients. We help good people like you get out of debt. Medical Massage International provides the public with independent, competent healthcare practitioners through the art of massage. We train therapists to last and sustain a career beyond our school by entering them into the medical world of massage. Establishing core values within our students to bring out the best in themselves is our goal. You too can join this diverse group of therapists to thrive in the medical massage world.
This is Gary Atencio with CNTV, and today we're in Denver, Colorado. We are here at Stellar Events, LLC. Since 2009, they have been providing an event planning company known for their exceptional service here in the Denver metro area, along the Front Range, and quite honestly, into the mountains of Colorado here. I'm here with Nell, who is the owner and founder. Thanks so much for joining us here today. Why don't we start off, first of all, in 2009, you began the company here, but quite honestly, it was many years before that you had experience professionally serving the folks here of Denver. What got you involved initially in this industry?
Volunteer work, actually. I started volunteering at the Children's Museum when I moved here in Denver in 2003, and they immediately needed an event planner to hire, so I became a full-time staff person, planned dozens of events, fundraising events, 5K run walks, just the gamut. And when it got to be 2009, I decided to branch out and do weddings.
Wonderful. Let me ask you this. Obviously, we throw an event, and quite honestly, that event is a reflection of either the person who threw it, the couple who threw it, or even an organization. Is that why a lot of folks are now turning to professionals to help them out?
I think so, absolutely. They really need a professional to help their vision come to life. It's interesting, one of the biggest challenges is that the event planning position always falls on someone. So the question is, who is that going to be? Is it going to be a loved one? Is it going to be a caterer? Is it going to be someone that, should be there enjoying or doing something else on your big day? or at your event. So when you have a professional there, you're able to rely on all of their experience. They're able to think quickly on their feet to solve issues. They're able to provide all kinds of wisdom of what works and what doesn't so that that event goes off without a hitch.
Wonderful. Speaking without a hitch, nothing like the rush on the end of a night. You're looking back at that day and you realize that it went great. People had a great time. They enjoyed each other. But quite honestly, we know there's months of planning, of many details that went into that event. But quite honestly, the events, the details, that's what you shine, that's what you do for a living.
Yes, that's true. Some of my clients I work with for 18 months prior to their big day, so we have a lot of time to work through all the details and really have an event come to life. Some clients I jump in at the last second and just make sure that everything that they have intended to happen that day or that night happens the way that they intended.
Excellent. Let me ask you, how important is it for someone to choose an event coordinator that actually enjoys and loves what they do? Does that come through on that night?
It definitely does. I think that's true with any industry, that when you hire a professional, you want them to love what they do. Any professional, when they love what they do, really can shine and can really make that an event special for everyone.
Wonderful. Speaking of everyone involved, obviously you coordinate the event, but there are a lot of professionals that are actually included, be it a small event or large event. Why is it important for a coordinator to have a great working relationship with some wonderful top vendors, best in Denver?
Well, because we all become a team on that day. We all need to be on the same page. We need to be following the same timeline. And so if we work well together, then the event will go very, very well. I take pride in all of the wonderful vendors that I work with. It's one of the reasons why I love event planning, is because of the event professionals that inspire me every day.
Wonderful. Speaking of inspiration, what are some of the services out there that you do provide? Because I see you do everything. I mean, you're like a one-stop shop. I mean, you've got from the photographers, the decorators, the limo drivers, you name it.
It's true. Well, my business is sort of run in two different departments. So one side of my business is doing contract work with nonprofits. If they're in transition, if there are event planners going on maternity leave, or for whatever reason they just need someone to come and help them, I step in and I make sure that their fundraising events go off without a hitch. The other side of my business is the weddings, and with that I have a completely innovative online wedding concierge service. It's consisted of hundreds of local vendors in the area that are professionals. I call it the inner circle. And a couple will go online, they fill out a free questionnaire, and based on the answers that they give me in that questionnaire and what they're looking for, I narrow it down and I really pick the one or two vendors that I think are the best fit.
I love that, because quite honestly, you've taken the stress off the client of having to run around Denver, who's good, who's not, this and that. You've done the due diligence, you've done the research, and that's how they became on your inner circle.
That's true. I've either handpicked them or they've gone through a very strict application process in order to be included in the inner circle.
Excellent. You talked about two sides of your company. Let's focus on that one big day, that important day that's got to be planned and most important to many people, and that's your wedding. This is still your sole specialty.
It is, and it's the most important day of anybody's life, so it should be treated with, the utmost respect and detail, and with passion and with enthusiasm.
Excellent. Let me ask you, I mean, a wedding's kind of unique because quite honestly, you're dealing with more than one person many times. You're dealing with the bride, possibly the bride's mom, possibly the fiance. Everybody's got a little input on that special day for themselves. How important is that collaboration, that communication that takes place on the initial consultation as well as throughout the whole planning process?
It's extremely important, and I tend to try and make that very clear up front with my clients. Find out who the decision makers are, which decisions should be left up to different people, and we define that very well just right from the get-go, so that no one ends up feeling left out, no one ends up feeling overbeared upon, and the whole process runs smoother.
Like you said, you take a lot on your shoulders so other people don't have to carry that load. They can actually enjoy that day. That's what it's all about. What takes place at that initial consultation? Is there a fee for that, or is that complimentary?
It's completely complimentary, and hopefully it's an opportunity for couples to learn something from me even without spending a dime. On that first consultation, I'll usually find out where they are in the planning process. So some clients, like I said, I do day of coordination with, where they've done all of the legwork, and I come in and make sure that it runs smoothly. Other clients I work with from the very beginning, holding their hand through the process and helping them from the start. So it's nice to know up front at that first consultation where they are in the process and where I can be of most service to them.
I mean, you really are able to take a custom approach with any client out there. Like you said, I can take the whole thing, or you can bring me in the last minute. We can take a look. No matter what, we're talking about creative solutions that you're bringing to the table, and obviously you're able to share some great tips out there with folks of what they could do.
Yes, that's true. And like I said, I love for it to be a learning experience. I love for it to be an opportunity for the couple to be talking about their wedding, maybe for the first time. So I always love to ask them, what parts of your wedding are you the most excited about, so that I can see that glimmer in their eye. But then I also make a point of asking, what's stressing you out about this, so that I can tell what parts I need to play a bigger role in.
Wonderful. Now, when we think of an event coordinator, many times folks think of big elaborate events, and obviously you've got the experience to do such a thing, but what about a smaller wedding? Somebody who says, you know what, I don't know if I need a coordinator. What size do you recommend, and are you able to help all sizes?
I'm able to help all sizes. If an event is 300 people, then I may hire an assistant to help me with that event. If it's an intimate wedding of 25, which I've done, we can still make that beautiful and a wonderful event for them as well.
Wonderful. I mean, you've been doing it for some time. Do you like also keeping up on the latest wedding trends and things that are changing out there and sharing those with your clients?
I love to do that. I love to write articles. I love to be up on the latest trends. I have lots of blogs that I follow, and I love to be inspired by other people's wonderful ideas.
Excellent. Folks, take a look at the bottom of the screen. If you're going to see right there, basically, is their website. On the website, you're going to get a better idea of all the different services she's able to provide. You're also going to take a look a little more in depth at those vendors. I mean, she's got a wonderful network, as she refers to as her inner circle. You're also going to take a look at the testimonials they have there as well. And keep in mind, basically, like she says, there's really no event too small or large. She basically can sit down with you in a consultation and make sure it's something that you're both going in the same direction with. And she has a lot of resources there on the website as well. Take a look at the blog as well as Facebook, give you some great tips to help you throw off that great event. What's nice about technology now is, quite honestly, people are able to use the website, internet. This is really a one-stop shop you've created here, not only for the folks that are getting married, but those wedding vendors as well. Explain a little bit more for me.
Sure. Well, it's actually a really wonderful invention, my website, because I can only do so many events every year. So this way I can provide a service to those couples that I am not always available for. So they go online for free. They take an online survey. They tell me what it is they're looking for. And based off of those answers, I match them to the vendors that I think are the best fit. So it's free for them. It's totally free of charge. For my vendors, it's free for them to join. They just have to pass the application process. And then there's a small referral fee if we end up closing business.
Wonderful. So you're like the matchmaker in between here.
Exactly.
I like that. Speaking of a larger community, how important is it for you to give back to Denver, the city that basically helped you get started?
Oh, it's extremely important to me. I've been involved in the nonprofits here for 10 years. I have several different nonprofits that I've worked with closely, have fallen in love with, and so it's one of the biggest parts of my life that really makes me excited.
Wonderful. Like you said, your expertise is that of weddings, but you work with a lot of nonprofits. What about corporations, organizations that just want to throw an event? Are you available for them as well?
I am. I don't target them as a market. I focus mainly on the weddings and the nonprofits, but I just had someone ask me today if I could help with their opening. So I'm happy and open to do any kind of event.
Wonderful. Last time, viewers, take a look at the bottom of the screen. What you're going to see is that website again. We're also flashing her phone number on the bottom of the screen. Simply just give her a call. She will set up a consultation with you. She's bringing with her basically many years of experience here throughout Denver, and she has at her disposal really a network of vendors that she has handpicked, honestly, each one of those. Remember that stellar events dedicated to making the planning process a breeze while supporting the professionals here in the wedding industry. This is Gary Atensi with CNTV, and if you don't know, now you know. Until next time, if you know of a business who you feel the whole city should know about, nominate them, we'll send a reporter out. This is Gary Atencio from CNTV, and if you don't know, now you know.